The absolute biggest changes to shooting in 2K history, period. We've never experienced anything like this. We're about to get into all the details and all the major changes involved with shooting on NBA 2K26. If any of you guys are new here and you would like to stay up to date with the latest information on NBA 2K26, definitely consider dropping a like and a sub. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get to the video.
It's AllCity. Load up that clip.
It was almost like Mike Wang said, F that, y'all want this? You asked for this? We're giving it to you. Over something like the last 5 years or so, Mike Wang has been messing with shooting, just adding additional unnecessary complications to shooting. And it's been a work in progress. Year after year, there's something different or new, from shot timing variations, speed ups and slowdowns, to the most latest, shifting green windows in NBA 2K25. And it was said that these changes were being made to combat against cheaters, a tiny, small, minuscule percentage of the 2K player base. Mike Wang was feeling like when players start hitting threes like layups, it makes for boring basketball. And that most certainly assured me that Mike Wang doesn't even play his own game. All right, maybe I'm pushing it. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little there. But after spending the last 5 years making all these changes and adjustments to shooting that players had to adapt to, every year it was like something different. And keep in mind, they weren't transparent about these changes. We had to find out about shifting green windows from the good folks over at NBA 2K Labs. Mike Wang and the 2K dev team surely didn't say anything about that. The growing frustration from players over the last 5 years had reached its boiling point with NBA 2K25 shifting green windows, and the community has had enough. It looks like Mike Wang and the 2K dev team finally heard the community's cries and decided, we're letting it all go. We're giving it back to the player. And for the first time in 2K history, players are now gonna experience what it feels like to have a pure green window. I already know some of you guys are thinking, well, they said we had pure green windows in previous versions of 2K. Let me break it down for you. Let's reference this post from Mike Wang about pure green windows and shooting on NBA 2K26 so you guys know what you're getting. Yoli sent out this initial post saying, can we get an explanation on the difference between then and now in regards to pure green windows? Back in 2023, Mike Wang, responding to Badge Plug, said, yes, the green window is pure, after Badge Plug asked him, does shooting have a pure green window in 2K24 like it did in 2K19? Mike Wang responded saying, yes, the green window is pure and will be a guaranteed make if you hit it. Heavily contested shots may still look like full whites, but that's just an artifact of the art. There will always be, in quotations, possibly a sub-pixel sized green window on every shot attempt. And that was the time that Mike Wang last referenced having a pure green window on NBA 2K games. What you guys are getting in NBA 2K26, Mike Wang responds underneath this post to Yoli, saying the center of the green window in 2K19 and 2K24 were pure. And to me, that sounds like an oxymoron. If anybody hits the center of the green window, it should be pure, no matter what. Unless Mike Wang is trying to say that if a player hits the center of a green window, there's a possibility you could still miss that shot. But anyway, I'll continue on. He says, although the center of the green windows for 2K19 and 2K24 were pure, they still used RNG on the edges that lerped from 100 to 0. I'm not sure how many of you guys remember this, but back in those games, 2K19 and 2K24, we oftentimes saw our shot meter just glitch past the green window. There were a ton of complaints about this from 2K players, but all those complaints went unnoticed and unheard. Mike Wang says in 2K26, if you release anywhere inside the green window, it'll be a make, even if you hit like the early or late edges of that green window. And I would like to give you guys fair warning that whenever Mike Wang or the 2K dev team consider something like a pure green window, this normally means that the green windows are going to be significantly smaller than the green windows that have RNG incorporated into them. The best reference that I could provide you guys are these test results from the good folks over at NBA 2K Labs, looking at the differences in green window sizes from rhythm shooters to button shooters. The green window for rhythm shooting, represented by the blue line graph, was much wider. But take a look at the green window for button shooters, represented by the red line graph. It's way smaller and there's way less grace on the early and late edges of the green window. Way less room for error. I imagine that our green windows in NBA 2K26 are gonna look closer like the red line graph, and that's going to be for both rhythm shooting and button shooting. And although we'll have a way smaller green window in NBA 2K26, I don't necessarily mind that as long as it stays static and there's no shifting in our green windows. I don't want to be guessing where my green window went. I would personally like to go back to 2K's heyday in shooting, where players hit the lab, they practiced and mastered their shot timing through countless repetitions. Shot timing was added to muscle memory, and that muscle memory allowed us to hit our shots more consistently. And players who didn't practice their shooting and get that shot timing mastered shot way less consistent. To me, that's the definition of creating a skill gap in shooting. I don't think it was a good idea for 2K to penalize shooters who like to practice and master their shot timing. 2K has not yet referenced whether our green window is going to remain static yet. I'm looking forward to that, and as soon as I get that information, whether or not it's static or it's going to continue to shift, I'll share that with you guys. But Mike Wang did say there is no longer any RNG in shooting, which lends to the idea that our green window will remain static, but it hasn't been absolutely confirmed. Mike Wang responds to the question, will there still be RNG in shooting? Mike says, no, there will be no RNG in shooting. There's always been some element of RNG in every past version of NBA 2K, including NBA 2K24. NBA 2K26 will be the first version to feature a completely pure green window. On pro or lower difficulties, you can still make whites, but otherwise it's green or miss, excellent or nothing. Now, I know some of you guys are wondering, what does this mean for a defense playing against shooting and shot contests? One thing I would like to mention very quickly is that Mike Wang did mention players are now going to see the shot contest percentages on their shot feedback. It's super dope to me that they're going back to that. Another thing that Mike referenced, but it was in regards to finishing, was dynamic green window adjustments. Dependent on the level of contest and also that player's defensive attributes, your green window will adjust in size accordingly. And I imagine that's going to be the same thing for shooting and shot contests. I'll reference this post here in regards to players getting instant greens. It says, this year we made jump shot feedback dynamic based on the quality of the shot. It factors in shooters' ratings, defensive coverage, and shot timing or tempo for rhythm shots. So if you have an excellent release on a wide open shot with a good shooter, you'll get an instant green. Let's move on to some of the changes in rhythm shooting, as it's now separated into two parts, and Mike Wang explains it best here. Someone asked, can you explain how the rhythm shooting works? Can I still green a shot with early or late timing? Mike responding saying, rhythm shooting is basically all about mastering your shot's unique tempo. There's still an ideal timing point for when to push the pro stick, but you don't have to green the timing to make the shot. However, the better you time the release, the more wiggle room you have to match the tempo. The timing on the right stick movement and the speed of the stick throw will also affect how the animation plays out. So if you guys start the push early or throw the stick fast, you'll see the shooter rush the animation. Say a defender's closing out and you want to rush the animation to take a quick shot, you can do that now with rhythm shooting. If you delay your push, you see the player hold the set point and hang a bit before starting the shooting motion. And if you throw the stick too slowly, you'll see a lazier looking follow through. It's great if you need to intentionally rush your shot to beat a closeout or low shot clock, but your green tempo window is going to be much smaller. To me, this is a great addition to rhythm shooters. It might even give me an opportunity to get into rhythm shooting because the mechanic on NBA 2K25 didn't work well for me at the point guard position. I was able to use it as a spot up, but as a point guard, nah, man, it just felt unnatural. Now 2K's basically saying I could move quicker to set up my shot and then compensate that with my tempo. Another huge change to shooting on NBA 2K26 is the removal of high risk, normal risk, and low risk. Is there still high/low risk reward setting? No, Mike Wang says. Shot and layup timing risk reward settings have been removed. Everyone will play on the same playing field in NBA 2K26. Another welcome change that I can't wait to try on NBA 2K26 is the new no dip quick catch and shoot animations. Now corner sitters and hash sitters can prepare to catch the rock and shoot directly from the position in which they catch that ball. No longer will you have to worry about your player dipping down and then going into a shot. You can catch it high and immediately transition from that point into your jump shot. This is a much needed improvement for spot up shooters. You never know what you were gonna get. Sometimes you would get the animation where it'll put you from the chest point transitioning into a shot, and then sometimes it was so random it'll dip you down and then go into a shot. In my opinion, that was the shifting green windows in action. Not only is this a plus for spot up shooters, but it's also a plus for me as a point guard that I know my spot ups, they're gonna shoot quickly. And lastly, go-to shots. Now post scorers will be able to activate go-to shots simply by holding up on their stick while they're in the post. They'll go into animations like shimmies and up and unders, no longer needing to motion the stick. 2K will do it all for them. I guess you could look at it as like training wheels for post scorers. Those were some of the major changes coming to shooting on NBA 2K26. As soon as we receive more information, I'll definitely upload. So if any of you guys are new here and you want to stay up to date on the latest information about NBA 2K26, definitely consider dropping a like and a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.